Welcome back. So some members of the LGBTQIA plus community in Ghana have reportedly gone into hiding. This comes after Ghanaian lawmakers unanimously passed a legislation that will intensify a crackdown on the rights of gay people. Now, the new legislation has drawn international condemnation, with the United Nations calling it profoundly disturbing. Same-sex relations are already illegal in Ghana, and activists have described the new law as another setback for human rights. Well, we're joined by activist Angel Maxine, who joins us live now to discuss. Angela, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that part of the discussion that we're having this morning is because of how many members of the LGBTQ plus community in Ghana have gone into hiding. Is that a similar situation in your own situation?
Good morning to you all, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, a lot of people some people who have the capacity to flee the country have started leaving the country. And those who can't leave the country, they are still in Ghana and hiding and pretending to be somebody else. And that is what is happening, because there's an increase in violence since the bill was passed.
Yeah. Is that what's happened to you? I believe you're speaking to us from Berlin at the moment.
Yes, I'm in Berlin.
Yeah. So let's talk to us about what you're hearing from, some of your countrymen and women who are still in Ghana and the fear that they're living in. I mean, at this point, we're hearing that over the past 3 years, the reality has been that if you have been found once again to have been engaging in same-sex sexual relations, that you could face up to 3 to 5 years in jail. Now, even activists in support of the LGBTI community facing jail time as well. So what does the situation look like at the moment, not just for the community, but certainly activists in support?
Activists in support are coming out to speak against it. Allies are coming out to speak against it. Supporters are also coming out to speak against it. Because why should I support somebody and go to prison? Why a doctor will take care of somebody and will go to prison? Why should it be like that? So all our activists, most of us are coming out to speak about it in whichever way, using arts, using poem, whatever it is. People are amplifying their voices against it, because it's unfair for somebody to go to prison for advocating for human rights.
Well, talk to me. I mean, one of the things that you've said is that you needed a safe place to continue your work as an activist. But before you had fled Ghana for Berlin, and I know that this was before Parliament passed that anti-LGBTQ bill, you'd been in Ghana. I mean, talk to me about the discrimination that you had faced even before the bill was passed.
Yeah, so, I am a public figure in Ghana, and I identify as a trans woman, and also openly speaking against the bill and creating queer visibility. It puts my life on the line, and it puts my security and everything about me in danger. I've had instances where people will identify you, Angel Maxine, and they don't want to associate with you. I have had instances where I've been dropped from an Uber because I am Angel. People have attacked me, mobbed me, made me feel less of a human being. So many things. And at the point where the issue of the bill was boiling up, and I realized that, no, this bill could be passed anyway, could be passed anyhow this bill could be passed. I just thought it wise that it would be better to leave Ghana and go to a safe space where I can still amplify my voice and still actively advocate against this bill. Yeah. Because being in Ghana and talking about it, with the things I have done, with the things I have said, and how I have been radical with my activism, it would have really landed me in prison, because identifying as a trans woman already has a 3-year prison sentence for me, and advocating for LGBT rights and inclusiveness and all these things has about 5 years also for me. Yeah. And there are journalists out there who also support the LGBT community and all that. So I was like, no, I need to find a place. Let me make the sacrifice. Find a place where I can be safe, where I can really speak. Because people cannot speak in Ghana. People are being covered. If you are not in a privileged status, if you're not, let's say, a politician, or if you're not in a status where you can speak, maybe as an ally, community members themselves do not have the opportunity to speak, do not have the opportunity to talk about their experiences. Do not have the opportunity to share their voice and say, this is what is happening, this is how we feel, this is what you are doing, this is what is causing us emotionally, internally, psychologically. It's killing us. And this is the only way I could come out and speak. That is why I had to leave Ghana during that period.
Does it break your heart that you can't be in your own homeland?
Yes, it breaks my heart. I'm not happy to be here. It wasn't any of my plan. I didn't plan of leaving my home to go and stay somewhere and all that. No, it's not part of me.
Yeah.
I love being in Ghana, and that is where I was born. That is where I have grown up, and this is where I have lived all my life. Where I have all my families, my friends, everybody's there.
Yeah.
So just living without even saying goodbye, it's not a pleasant thing for me. I feel devastated. I feel happy, and each and every day of my life, it still rings a bell in my heart.
You say you won't be able to say goodbye. You weren't able to say goodbye to friends and family, Angel.
Yes. Yes. I couldn't say, because I just left. Like, it was just, I didn't even decide. I just had to choose between living in Ghana and going to prison, or leaving Ghana and saving myself and speaking for the community. Because this is the only way.
The reason why I raise that is because, again, you have so many people who are still in Ghana unable to leave, that are, part of the LGBTQ community. And I can only imagine, and I'm sure this is an issue for you, you're quoted as saying, my friends are all terrified, everybody is scared, when you spoke to another media platform. Yes, again, the argument is going to be made that, well, why run? The bill has not been signed into law by the president. Does that matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People who are being persecuted now, people who are being beaten on the streets of Accra today, people who are being set up, people who are being blackmailed, people who are going through a lot of things just because of even the introduction of the bill. If they had the opportunity, they would have left.
Do you think
if they had the opportunity, they would have left?
Do you believe that lawmakers in Ghana are at all learning from the lessons coming out of a country, for instance, like Uganda, where you saw the World Bank suspending new funding for Uganda after it passed its harsh LGBTQ bill? Does that at all, is that a conversation that you feel is taking place inside Ghana about how this move could hurt its international relations?
So Ghana is portraying that they don't care about the bill. That is the proponents of the bill. And all we know, we see that this is a political propaganda that is really going on, because you can't govern a nation and say you don't care just because you want to satisfy your political ambition, just because you want to be seen, you want to be known, you want to be like, I don't know. And people do not really understand the bill. People do not know what the bill entails. The only thing people know is that, they are arresting LGBT people and they are going to prison, and that is it. That is why Ghanaians are supporting it. But if Ghanaians know that the bill affects they themselves individually, the bill affects the economy, the bill affects international relationships, the bill even affects funding and all that, a lot of people would have come out against it. But now people do not know, so they are happy and they are rejoicing.
Yeah, so final question, and I really do appreciate the time that you've given us, speaking to us amid all this fear. Your call to the international community, to countries within the African continent, and the greater international community about what's happening in Ghana at the moment.
Come again, please.
What is your call to the international community?
So I want to tell everybody to come out and speak against this bill. I want the international community, the African communities, everybody should come out and give pressure to the president to kill the bill. The president should kill the bill. Queer people don't deserve to go to prison. Queer people should not be criminalized. Identifying as a queer person should not land you into going to prison. Supporting a queer person or funding them or being an ally or a supporter to a queer person doesn't deserve anybody from going to prison. We say Ghana is a peaceful country. Ghana, we tolerate everybody. We show love. We show compassion. Let the international community come out and remind Ghanaians of who they are. Ghanaians are not violent people. Ghanaians are peace-loving, tolerant people, and that is how it should remain. Right. This bill should not come and scatter families instead of putting us together. This is what I want to tell the international community, to come out and also speak against this bill, and let us all come together and put pressure on the president to kill the bill.